Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Welcome to being here. I'm Ariel.
I'm Shia. Today's
Theme
is
Skill Sets Grow. And obviously, Shia and I finish each other's sentences, and sometimes we simul speak.
That is true.
I'm Ariel.
I'm Shia. And you know, your skill sets grow naturally with practice.
They do.
And so what have you been practicing lately? Your automatic complaints or your being kind to yourself?
Can't do both at the same time, actually.
That's true.
Unless you notice you've had an automatic complaint and then you're kind to yourself about having it.
And that way it will probably dissolve and leave you be.
It was interesting. I had an injury lately.
Yes.
And I had the automatic complaint or automatic idea that I was oversimplifying, being a baby, the kind of conversation about myself, probably from my earliest days.
Right.
And it was rather sweet to watch it happen and say, here are these thoughts again, and just notice it without being hard on myself for having had that automatic response to the situation, nor believe those thoughts to be true.
Right.
So let's talk about listening.
Oh, yeah. My favorite subject, actually. You know, when you truly listen, a number of things happen. One of them is that you get pulled into the current moment of your life. And that's kind of cool because then you're in your experience of living rather than your thoughts about it. Another thing that happens, though, is the person that you're listening to, you're actually unburdening them of thoughts that they've been having over and over for a very long time. See, our thoughts are repetitive. They run down channels of thoughts that are set off by the circumstances in your life. And then you have these repetitive thoughts that are mostly self-deprecating. You know, they find fault with you for being you. If you listen to someone, you're actually receiving their communication. Now, listening isn't agreeing or disagreeing. It's allowing what they say to come in without filtering them through your thoughts about good, bad, right, wrong, whether you believe it or not. It's their truth, you see? Another person's communication is what's true for them. Now, it doesn't have to be true at all. But if you listen, you take it from them like a burden that they've been carrying. They are relieved because somebody heard them as opposed to hurt them.
You talked about how thoughts go down a channel.
Yeah.
And I realize you look at thoughts, you think, they're nothing. They're just thoughts. They have no weight. And it reminds me.
But
you saw the picture, so please, I like it.
But,
see the thought transfers.
Yeah. We were in Costa Rica a few weeks back, a couple of months, whatever. And there were these leaf-cutting ants that have a prescribed route to where their leaves that they cut grow, and then they bring them back to their den or hive or nest. And over the millennium of time, these ants, which weigh nothing, have actually created a path in the ground that is indented, that you can see they've walked over it for maybe hundreds of years.
It's like a groove in the earth.
Exactly.
That is prescribed, it's specific, and you don't see ants outside of that. It's as if everything is reshuffled into that groove.
Well, our thoughts are a lot like that. We follow these paths of thought, usually to our own detriment.
And then there's the moment where you include that groove, but you don't have to slide down into it. You're actually here, in a way, bless you doll.
Mhm.
You can be up above watching that groove is there, but you're not immersed in it.
It's a new possibility for most of us.
Let's take our first guest, shall we?
Yes.
Hey, Mike, and welcome to being here. Tell people where you're zooming in from, please. Maiken? Is Maiken still here?
Now I am. Hello, this is Maiken from Hamburg.
Hi,
Had a
Maiken.
little bit technical trouble here.
Great.
We're Hamburg, Pennsylvania.
No, Hamburg, Germany.
Oh,
Okay.
very good.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you had a Pennsylvanian accent, but I guess, yeah.
And that was just actually very cool having these technical problems. I could just see myself, oh, panic, panic. Take a deep breath, relax, you get it done.
Excellent.
Good work.
Excellent. I know Dave, our producer, said he'd cut it out. Maybe you could just shorten it a little bit for our listeners, but I'm not sure you have to edit it all together. I love that you had technical difficulties. I'll tell you why.
Why?
Life doesn't happen the way we expect it. And then you have automatic reactions to it. So your automatic reaction is panic. And then what? So whether it's a complaint or panic or, oh no, or I don't like this, or whatever the automaticity is, you can't control that. What happens next, you're in charge of.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with these automatic reaction of some things not going like I've planned it.
Well, Mike, and if you take a look, you make plans. The universe doesn't necessarily conform to your plans. It's
Yeah.
doing what it's doing, and you make plans, and your plans are kind of incidental to the movement of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Like you may have plans to go outside and take a walk today, and suddenly it's incredibly stormy and it has thunder showers and wind, and it may
And
not
lightning and
and it
thunder.
may not conform to your plan.
That's right.
Most of us are used to shifting our plans around the changes in the weather, but we've also been trained to complain about that. And it's the very basics of life altering moments where you will get very clear you're not in control.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, actually. I'm working as a physiotherapist,
Mhm.
and I recognized today with one of my clients who said, oh, finally this and now this weather. And I thought, yeah, but it is just weather. It doesn't care if you like it or don't. And I actually spoke with her about that, and she said, yeah, right. But I could also see if a lot of clients come with this, what an effect has on me.
Well, let's talk about the 3 principles of instantaneous transformation then. Anything you resist, you turn into. You resist their complaint, and then you're like, I'm pretty above it for this time. And then they complain again, you resist, and before you know it,
You're complaining about their complaints.
Or about the clients. Yeah.
yeah, the
right.
content of the complaint may be different, but the complaining nature isn't.
True.
You know, the other thing, we tend to not like those things we don't like about ourselves. So they come in complaining about the weather, for instance, and you're kind of there for the first one. When the second one comes in and some part of you goes, la, 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 I don't want to hear this because
I want to be beyond my complaining nature.
Mhm.
I want to be over this by now.
Yeah. But it's just the other side of a coin. I
So-
see that.
Let's do the second principle.
No two things can occupy you at the same time. That's one thing. The other part of that is you can only be exactly as you are in this moment of your life, which is kind of remarkable. Because if you try to be different than you are, you're just being you the way you are.
Oh, I love that. Can you say that again?
If you try to be different than you are, you're just being you the way you are.
Which is you trying to be different.
Then you are, exactly.
That's how you're being.
And so that's exactly it. Now, if you can't be different than you are in the current moment,
Snap of fingers.
could you have been different in any previous moment of your life? Now, apparently, this is the only moment you have, this current moment, but too late, it already went by. So how can you have, if you complained about your past, you couldn't have done anything about it differently than you did. So what good is complaining about it?
Nothing.
Well, it keeps you stuck in that this isn't it, that this moment should be different than it is, except that it's never different than it is. It's only exactly as it is, and that's always different than it was.
Yeah.
You mean the conversation that says, I'm still, and then fill in the blank, I'm still complaining, I'm still in pain, I'm still not feeling well. I still don't have my energy fully back. I'm still
Whatever.
learning German. I still, whatever the it is, that sticks you there.
It keeps you where you were, not where you are.
Because, you probably know this as a physiotherapist. You work with people, I'm assuming, helping them rehabilitate some part of their body so they have full range of motion or function. Is that a decent? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they come in and they move their arm, for instance, and it can only go 30% across their body, then it's 30% across their body, or it's still not fully functional. When they say still, it pulls in the past, it pulls in the future where they want to get to. It's not just a fact. It goes to 30% across my body, period. When you push something and they say, oh, it still hurts, it's not just reporting what they're experiencing in that moment.
It's a comparison to their past experience or remembrance of that sensation.
And it's talking about where they hope to get to as opposed to reporting
and
what
all
is.
that is change. It's all incremental. It all takes place over time. It's all getting somewhere. And this isn't it. Where transformation, this is it. Things are exactly as they are.
And when you see something without complaining, when you simply bring awareness to it, there's
Can you hear our cat?
She's like, it completes itself in an instant.
We talk about complaining, she complains.
That doesn't mean that in the next instant, his or her range of motion might be 35%. In the next instant, it may be 30% also, but it's a new moment in time, not compared to anything.
This is great. I've never seen these three principles in this context.
Mm-hmm. And the third principle is anything that you see without judging completes itself in the instant you see it. So if you see that you've had, say, a bickering kind of relationship with your husband.
Yeah.
And you just see it without judging yourself for having it, it loses its power over your life and over your relationship.
And notice you'll want to go, I'm bickering again adds time, or we're bickering, but it's better than it used to be, adds time, adds judgment for, against, good, bad, right, wrong, goals, where you want to get to, where you've been. If you see, bickering.
It's over in the seeing of it if you don't judge it. Judging it is like stopping the action.
And keep stopping it. It's like you're watching a horror movie, Maiken.
Mm-hmm.
The thing gets really bad. And you're like, oh, I don't want to see that. And you put your hands up and you go, no. And then you freeze frame that horror frame in front of your face until you're done resisting it.
Ah.
Which is maybe never.
I go and leave to the fridge.
That's right. You go to the fridge.
That's right. Been there, done that. Had the extended belly to prove it. Yes.
Yeah,
I'm excited for you.
it's very, very cool. And I also see that sometimes complaining is my comfort zone.
Always,
Pun?
always your
Always.
comfort.
Okay. It's my
Well-
comfort zone to not get other things done.
Well, not only that, you get the agreement of other people in your world. They agree with your complaints because they complain as well. So it's a way of socializing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also, when you say it's your comfort zone, it's familiar. The word familiar comes
Familiar
from
fits better,
family.
yes.
Family, familiar.
Hmm.
We grew up
Amongst people.
who complain. And so we fall back into the known. You know, when I wasn't feeling well the other night, we opened the freezer to get out some ice to put on this spot that was hurting. And I saw bread we froze so we don't binge eat it. And I was like, Shia, I want toast with butter and honey. It was, which he made me was very sweet, literally and figuratively. But that's comfort food, comfort zone. Well, so for you is
Complain.
complaint. And if you don't complain about your complaining nature, you see other possibilities.
If you don't complain about your complaining nature, you no longer have it.
I have evolved. It's no longer white bread with margarine and white sugar on top. That's
Yes.
my comfort zone.
Yes.
It's now high class sourdough olive bread with, you know, farm pasture butter and honey. But it's essentially the same thing.
But I like your picture really well.
Lovely being with you today. You know,
Yes.
Costa Rica this year was awesome for you. You said I've never heard the three principles in the context of talking about, for instance, pain or range of movement with your clients. I'm not sure we've ever articulated it this way before either. Your ability to be here and actually listen is quite astounding. And the listeners on this show are the beneficiaries.
Thanks. It was really, really fun to be with you, and
Yes.
looking forward to next time.
Till next time.
Till next time.
Okay.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen. Bye bye.
Hey, you want to hear about transformation?
Mhm.
We've got one of our listeners about to tell you about what's happened in their life out of listening to being here.
Hi, this is Jen in Kansas City. And what I appreciate so much about taking transformational seminars with Ariel and Shia is the ability to learn or to listen. Listening has changed the way that I have evolved in my life. It's a superpower, and I love it.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Ariel and Shire's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
We have 2 Living Made Easy virtual seminars on Monday, the 27th. You are invited. One is in the afternoon. It's New York time. It's bilingual. That makes it Central European time, 1930 or 7:30 to 9:30 in the evening in the European time
But
zone.
it starts at 1:30 Eastern time.
So you can figure it out in your time zone. Then we're doing a second one at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Monday evening, and that one is in English only. We have a couple weekends coming up. We're going to see Maiken in Hamburg, Germany. We're doing 2 courses there.
We're doing the Freedom to Breathe on Thursday, May 14th.
And Being Boldly You, May 15th, 16th, 17th, so Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. If you are in the US and you want something a little bit closer, we're doing Fun as the Access Way to Enlightenment, June 26, 27, 28, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday in New York City.
Now, Ariel said a little bit closer. She means closer to the United States.
Correct.
As opposed to closer in time.
No, but that's true, closer to the United States. Although I have found that a lot of our European friends travel in.
A lot of our American friends travel
to
out.
Europe. It's really fun to have the mix of community. I super appreciate it.
Yes.
Either of those weekends.
Will fulfill your prerequisite should you want to come to Costa Rica with us.
We have 2 courses going in 2027. You can come for either week or both. If you get your deposit in by May 1st, which is coming up soon, and you fulfill the prerequisites this year, you'll get an early registration discount. You can find out all of the information about our upcoming courses
on our website, transformationmadeeasy.com.
Great.
How's that?
Yeah, it was awesome.
That's good.
It was fun going back and forth.
Yes, well, it always is fun going back
That
and
skill
forth.
set has grown.
That's almost like sex.
Hmm.
Back and forth.
Yeah, it's true. In August, ladies, gents, it'll be our 1000th episode. We've done a few of these.
Well, in July,
Yes.
almost August, it'll be our first
Our
date
44
years
years.
ago.
Yeah, first date. What? Yeah, skill sets do grow. Let's take our next guest. Teresa, tell people where you're zooming in from.
Hi, this is Teresa, and I am in New York City.
Welcome to being here.
Thank you. It is so nice to see the both of you. Thank you so much. And I love the subject or the question, everything you've spoken about with Mike, and I felt like you were speaking to me.
Well, maybe you got a bank shot because it was easier for you to hear because we were speaking to Mike. And it's funny how one-on-one people tend to defend themselves thinking that we're going to see something wrong with them the way they see themselves, and we don't see them quite the same. So your opinion of you is usually much more, and I'm talking the you in general or in common, not just Teresa. You are more self-protective when spoken to directly because you think we're going to find out something bad about you because you constantly think you're going to find something bad about you. And what we've discovered is as you get into the current moment of your life, you really start discovering how brilliant you are.
I also think people are protecting themselves against their brilliance as well. We have a well-developed story about ourselves.
This is true.
So if you look at somebody and they're looking back at you, and you can see they hold you in high regard, there's some part of it that goes, please, no.
You don't know the whole story.
Yes.
Still
Yeah.
punishing myself from when I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think you had mentioned something about with the ants, this well-grooven path. And, if you could just look at it or without judgment. And I just feel like it's just such a knee-jerk reaction. Like it's like touching something hot that your hand goes away instantly. My judgments are so instant against myself.
Of course.
Yes, but here's the thing, sweetie. You're getting better at just noticing it without pulling back. So, there it is again. My old complaints about me when I was 12 years old. And when I went into puberty late, so I must have been 14 or 15, maybe 16 before I started to get pubic hair.
Right.
I used to put a sock in my bathing suit so I would look as though I was well endowed because all the other boys had grown up and I hadn't.
Very funny.
Isn't that funny? I don't think I ever told you that.
That's so much fun.
But those ideas about yourself formed from a child's point of view still play, even though you may be in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. I mean, hell, I'm in my 80s and they still play.
Sure, it was so funny. We were talking to somebody. He turned 85 in February, and like 2 days after his birthday, he's like, "I'm 85, almost 86." It was like we were laughing, at some
Right, because
people
when
try
you-
to make themselves younger, but
When you're a kid, it's like the older kids have all the benefits.
so you're 3.5. You're not just 3. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. It is though, just looking at my judgments without judging them, that's challenging.
Revolutionary.
Revolutionary.
It really is, because see, most people, as soon as they see their judgments, they think they ought to be over them and they shouldn't have them, rather than, oh, look, it's still around, but it doesn't affect me. I can, look, like we just said, I'm 85, almost 86. And I finally am giving myself permission to be boldly me in all circumstances. Now, I could have done it when I was 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, but even now, there are moments when I feel I can't say anything because whatever the reason I give myself, rather than just speak up. See, and I'm sure we're a lot alike in that respect, my dear.
Yes, yes. My husband, Marty, has said that he's noticed me being kinder to him. I don't know if
Take his word for it.
I'm sure it's true.
Take his word for it. Listen to him. See, because if he's accurate, you may not want to see that you're getting kinder, because somewhere in there, you may have the idea that you have to be a strong, independent woman and you can't just be kind.
Yes, yes.
Especially to you.
Yes, I do notice being with friends or my mother or other people, like there's just an ease of allowing people to be just whatever they say with, where it's not jumping on it, like, whereas if I'm with a girlfriend, she'll get down on herself for saying something, or I'll be like, well, you just said what was either on your mind, or you said it the way you said it. But I'm finding on myself though, I'm harder on myself.
Well, I'll tell you.
I don't agree with you, by the way.
First of all,
I think you may have been harder on yourself in the past, but I'm unless I'm wrong. Look, I could be totally wrong. You could be just a disaster area, not this gorgeous lady. So maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong.
but I do believe you're missing a step, or something, not to put things in steps, but something that might not have occurred to you, that will have it feel more resolved for you, even though other people are experiencing you in a kinder way. So when I had this pain recently, and I had the automatic thoughts of, oh, I'm being a baby, I'm faking, this is stupid. I relayed it to Shia. So I said, oh, wow, my thoughts, these are familiar. I had these when I had my shoulder surgery. I think I'm stupid for being like this. I think I'm faking. I know I'm dizzy and shaky, but it's stupid. Wow, look, those thoughts are happening. And he didn't try to reassure me. He heard them and he's like, well, of course you have those. Yeah, that sounds right. And what was interesting was I wasn't trying to hide from him my automaticity. And I think sometimes when you go into contraction, I believe I saw you had one where you jumped into being a strong, independent woman. You were unaware of us in Costa Rica as you were getting ready to leave, and you were struggling with all your luggage on your own up the stairs, and Marty was not going to help you. But I'm not sure when you come out of that, you go, woof, boy, did I have a contraction. I stomped up the stairs. You don't go for completion.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, you prefer it to have never happened.
Or you pretend, okay, whew, I'm over that now.
yes, yes, push it away. That's done.
Yeah. And as I'm saying that, you recall it, you're laughing about it. It is laughable. It's laughable, but you still judge that you went there in the first place. You know, it happens. Life happens. Contractions happen. And the more you recognize it and
Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, the quicker it dissolves.
I was in Costa Rica with the two of you for 2 weeks a few weeks ago, and it was phenomenal. Thank you so much.
Well, you know what was phenomenal?
No.
she's thinking, why was it phenomenal, Shia?
Because you were there.
Oh, thank you. I was going to say because you guys were there. Okay.
Well, we were there together.
Well, Mike will know this one, Selba Selba.
Yes.
It takes one to know one. You know, if you could physically be there, but not be there, it wouldn't have been phenomenal. We would have been annoying.
That's right. You would have been in the midst of an upset all the time. And doesn't mean you didn't have things come up where you got upset, because that's a natural function of people. When things aren't the way they are comfortable with, upset shows up. That's most of the time.
I remember we took a lunch break on one of the first days. We said, okay, so it's 12 now, let's have lunch and we'll come back into the quote course room, you know, where we meet at 4:30. And this one participant said, what? No, a 4-hour break. No, we have to come back in here and work on ourselves. I said, no, it's 4.5 hours. Because part of the magic of Costa Rica was getting to be with each other and go out into the hot springs or the steam hut or the river with the hot and cold running water, or taking a nap, or making love, or just seeing the wildlife. People saw sloths. But if we didn't give people the license to expand themselves, but for a person who's working on themselves, we're just a pain in the behind.
Yes.
And we're doing it wrong.
As if their working on themselves has worked. But
Yes.
it hasn't. The other thing is this, Teresa, you're not broken. We don't work with broken people. You know that.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
And you know, I know you're retired these days, but you were very successful in your chosen profession.
You know, when Susan Finch,
You didn't want to hear that, but you were very successful in your chosen profession.
Yes.
when Susan Finch and I first did our Speak Up course out into the world, I needed a single picture because all of my pictures were
With me.
with Shia.
As they should be.
And you came and we were, as they should be.
Yes, they should.
Yes, they should be. Except for when I needed to have it separate. So
Right.
you came and took a picture a series of pictures, and we were at the Skyline Hotel at the time. And I remember you took some, and then all of a sudden you went, there it is. That's the one. You saw it when you captured it through the lens, and it absolutely was the one. You are so capable of being here and seeing through your eyes and recognizing the perfection of the moment.
You just get lost when your attention goes on you. So I have a formula that might work, you see.
Okay.
Keep looking out, leave you alone, because you're brilliant as an observer of life rather than a work in progress.
And also, people have those skill sets, like your ability to see out and capture and know. You've had that for years and years. It just hasn't occurred to you that if you have that skill set, you can access it everywhere, not just in that one very narrow, slim portion of your life when you're behind a camera lens.
Wow. Yes, I never thought about that possibility.
Yes. Well, you see, look, my dear, you can only think about possibilities that you already know.
You know what I've been loving?
What's that, honey?
Well, here we are. We're talking to Teresa. We're moving to the end of the segment. I happen to glance down and I see that next week's podcast episode is on the theme of underestimated. and she's clearly underestimated herself.
That's true, as have most of us.
Or dare we say,
All of us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
thank you right back.
Back at
Yeah.
you.
Mm.
Pleasure, dear.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Mm. Oh, have you subscribed to this podcast? It is awesome. I recommend it. You can subscribe on any of your regular favorite podcast portals.
I could be wrong, but I think this was podcast number 1000.
No, not till August,
Oh,
mid-August.
oh. I'm wrong.
It's close.
But we're
It's
close to
We're-
1,000.
We're almost 85, 86.
We're-
Yeah.
Almost 86.
And you can find all our courses, our newsletter sign up link, which is also awesome. You can come to courses and meet people like Mike and Teresa and the lovely Dave, who's behind the scenes managing the podcast today.
From Winnipeg, Canada.
Yeah, I love it. TransformationMadeEasy.com. As I already mentioned, next week's episode, Underestimated.
So
We'll be back next week,
come on back.
and don't miss
Being here.
what he said.